Normally I don't do this, but before I start this video off, I need to make it crystal clear to YouTube, Universal Studios, and Universal's Fair Use Abuse Division, known as Zephyr, which stands for Zealous Egotistical Fucking Retards, that this video is entirely fair use. The source of every clip shown in this video is in the public domain. Every clip and all of the content has been altered and cannot be viewed in the way one could from viewing it at the source. Each clip has been taken for the purposes of discussion and critique, and no, I don't claim to own any of the material I am critiquing in this video because only a bunch of moronic fucking dipshits in their suit and ties who have no talent or clue in their out-of-touch fucking bodies would ever claim to own such a piece of shit, abominable fucking piece of work as their property. However, this video that you are watching is mine. I narrate it, I edited it, and I made it with this little thing called effort. Fuck yourself, Zephyr. Okay, so before I rip into the disgusting abortion of a trailer that is Hobbs and Shaw, I want to give you all a background of my history with the Fast and Furious franchise, as it should give you some insight as to why I feel the way that I do. However, since some dipshit in the comments hated how I went through my background on Pokemon before tearing Detective Pikachu a new asshole, I'll do you this small courtesy. Skip to the time on screen now if you only want to see my thoughts on the trailer and the upcoming movie. Although it would benefit you to not skip ahead so you'll understand where I'm coming from on this one. I'm not a hater of the Fast franchise. I've never been, in fact. I stuck with this series despite its mountains of criticism over the past decade and a half. I've been there since 2001 when Paul Walker and Vin Diesel tore up the streets of Los Angeles for the first time. Anyone else remember waking up on a Saturday morning and popping in the VHS tape of either of the first two Fast and Furious movies before jumping onto your console and playing Need for Speed Underground? Anyone else remember trying to make your souped up street racing car look just like the one from the movie? Anyone else remember anticipating the release of Tokyo Drift and Fast 4, Fast 5, Fast 6, Fast 7 with your friends at school and then into university? Because that was me. Hell, I remember the day I found out of Paul Walker's tragic death. I was playing Battlefield 4 on Xbox and just happened to open up my YouTube to a random video on my feed that said something along the lines of Paul Walker killed in car crash. I don't often get too disheartened by celebrity deaths, but Paul Walker's was undoubtedly the one that hit the hardest. The other two being Eddie Guerrero and Steve Irwin. Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sylvester Stallone were the action heroes most of us grew up with. But for me, one of my major action heroes that I adored growing up was Paul Walker. He was actually one of the few at the top of the list, and I was honestly devastated to hear the news. And also, side note, I didn't know too much about Paul Walker prior to his death, but after the fact, I learned that he was just about as awesome a human being as anyone I've ever heard of. The dude was a brown belt in jiu-jitsu, started his own charity foundation, or at least heavily contributed to reach out worldwide. Paul Walker even bought some random guy on the street the engagement ring for his girlfriend. So Paul Walker's a legend as far as I'm concerned. Rest in peace, and thank you for being a part of our childhoods, and our lives in general, Paul. You will be missed. The point I'm getting at is Paul Walker's memory absolutely deserves respect. He was the main character of the Fast and Furious franchise. He and Vin Diesel started this together and by all rights should have finished it together. And they did. Or so we thought. I was honestly really worried for the seventh and what we all assumed to be the final Fast movie and how they would proceed with it. Now, all issues with the movie aside, I still enjoyed the hell out of it and the ending was perfect. It was perfect. Like other endings before greedy fucking corporate cunts fuck with the story. But the character of Brian O'Connor, one of my favourite child and adulthood action heroes, and the end of his story was handled with respect, as was Paul Walker's death. As a long-time Fast and Furious fan, I was fulfilled and I was happy. Until some fuckwit wanted to make an 8th Fast and Furious movie, which one would assume would be the last fucking Fast movie. I mean, how many fucking times do they keep saying it's the last one?
We're gonna do one last job. Our old life is done. One last ride.
But this time it was in the fucking title, called Fate of the Furious. Let me save you this 2-hour abortion. Their fate is to keep making Fast and fucking Furious movies and milking millions of dollars from people still dumb enough to support this fucking franchise. And that's what Fate of the Furious fucking means. A big fuck you to the audience who actually still gave a shit. Let me tell you all right now, no, I didn't buy a ticket to see that disgusting train wreck of a film. I was so pissed off at the very idea of them making another Fast movie without Paul Walker by trying ever so hard to turn this into another dogshit Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson franchise that I didn't buy a ticket. The way I saw it, I was on a 16-hour flight across the fucking planet and thought that maybe I should just check out the movie in the digital library since the boredom alone made me want to kill myself. I wasn't 10 fucking minutes through the damn movie before I realized I made a horrible mistake and actually wished I jumped into the fucking jet turbine. Because fuck this movie. I don't know what the beef was between The Rock and Vin Diesel, because they both had a hand in raping this franchise, so fuck those two as well. The Fate of the Furious was ridiculous in concept, but the execution was the equivalent of a retard's wet dream. It was so bad. The only thing that honestly got me through it was Jason Statham. Even though his involvement was bullshit, his scenes still entertained me at the very least. And the final act of the movie is the biggest slap in the face to people who actually thought this bastardized franchise had finally come to an end. When the overblown 20-minute sequence to get to Cuntly's throne is thwarted by a simple "bye, gonna have a sequel" parachute jump.
There's only one flaw in your plan. Only one of us has a parachute.
Fuck you, Universal. Just fuck you. That plane trip was a fucking nightmare. And then I found out the greedy, sniveling little cocksuckers in the Universal boardroom and Dwayne "I like to rape every franchise" Johnson sat down and actually had the nerve to announce the Fast and Furious spin-off Hobbs and Shaw to the world, which is the equivalent of taking a giant piss on Paul Walker's grave as far as I'm concerned. And you know what? It was bad enough that The Rock was trying to snake his way into the franchise to fucking coast off it and make it his own while Paul Walker was still alive, because I don't know about you all, but I could see the signs of Universal shuffling Paul into the background behind The Rock a long time before Fate of the Furious happened. Matter of fact, if The Rock didn't have WrestleMania during the filming of Furious 7, I think Paul Walker's role in Furious 7 would have been as insignificant and pointless as they made Tyrese Gibson's character, despite Tyrese being a main character in Fast 2 and not just a one-liner fucking fountain.
You should have told me. I did 3 years, Brian. I told you it wasn't my fault.
Matter of fact, I wouldn't be surprised if The Rock's dick-sucking behind the scenes to the Universal execs is the reason there was a feud between him and Vin Diesel. Because here we are, everyone. We have Hobbs and fucking Shaw. The Rock's very own movie with a fucking Fast and Furious title stamped on it. Bravo. Now let's be clear on a few things before we go on. First, I don't hate The Rock outright, but I fucking hate what he's turning the film industry into. The motherfucker's got more money than God and is actually a talented actor when he wants to be, but still proceeds to ejaculate jizz for the lowest common fucking denominator in theaters all over the world. Secondly, all of the accusations I just made are my own personal feelings. I have nothing substantial to prove it. I just see these things happening, and I see what Hollywood is doing with The Rock, and I call it how I see it. Next, yes, I know Paul Walker wouldn't mind them continuing the Fast franchise without him, I'm sure. Does that mean they should? No, it does not. And also, I'm pretty sure Paul wouldn't have signed off on The Rock having his own fucking spin-off movie with genetically enhanced super soldiers and The Rock turning Fast and Furious into Home Alone on the Samoan Islands. But don't worry, we'll get to that soon enough. Also, the whole premise of marketing for the Fast and Furious was family. But we knew, or at least we thought, that extended beyond the film itself, with all of the original cast members still involved in the films and having over a decade to grow attached to them. After Paul Walker's death, that whole "it's all about family" bullshit no longer applies, both in the movies and in terms of the cast and crew. Because if the cast don't have enough respect for Paul to just let the series die, fucked if I'm gonna support them. But Universal fucking Studios still had the balls to push the whole "it's all about family" marketing ploy into the Fate of the Furious.
You gonna turn your back on family? You gonna turn your back on family?
I've never seen such a shameless movie before.
Meet Brian.
I think I've made my point. Fuck Universal and fuck what remains of the family. And now, regrettably, fuck Hobbs and Shaw. Here we go. So the trailer begins with Hobbs and Shaw at the entrance to some secret base facility, where they want to enter through two separate corridors for some reason. First off, how are these fuckers friends? Hobbs is a government agent and Shaw is a fucking assassin slash murderer slash criminal slash the complete fucking opposite of Hobbs. And no, Fate of the Furious doesn't explain any of this. It's literally Shaw is here now and he's on the good guy's side. Oh, but what about the... Nope, doesn't matter. He's a good guy now. Oh, so I guess murdering Han, one of the main characters for several of the Fast movies, doesn't mean shit now. Trying to kill Dom doesn't mean shit now. Look, he's saving a baby, the baby of the man he hates most in the world, because we invented a baby for him to save. And we also invented Cuntley Stallone, who he hates even more than the man who maimed his brother. Seriously, Fast 8 only exists to give The Rock his own fucking ship to captain, so that Universal can turn this franchise into a Dwayne The Rock Johnson cinematic universe without having to fucking work for it. Seriously, Universal are the slimiest cunts in all of the film industry. They are the worst. Anyway, it starts off with a stupid joke where Jason Statham wants to trade doors with The Rock because there's a lot of henchmen on the other side, but no one cares since they're gonna bullshit their way through anyway. Then Jason Statham kung fu's his way through half of the henchmen, and The Rock has a stupid stare down with the big friendly fucking giant on the other side, who's juggling a wrench in some spasm of retardation instead of just stoving The Rock's smug fucking skull in. Then The Rock just one-punches this fucktard with an IQ of 5, because why not, I guess? It's not like we haven't seen The Rock do that before, right?
Uppercut.
Yeah, he's still spraying his juices all over the screen. Let me ask, how do we go from this...
We find them, we take them as a team, and we bring them back. Stay the fuck out of my way.
...to this? Like, I didn't mind The Rock when he first showed up because he was an actual character, not just a walking gag and a fat fucking paycheck. But now, every time he's on screen, I want to just light it on fire. Anyway, back to Shaw. He's still fighting the henchmen, and now the henchmen decide to shoot Jason Statham. Wait, what the fuck? Why didn't you do that in the first place, instead of having this retarded choreographed fight? Oh, right, the director just wanted to pump up their dicks right in front of us. See, look how awesome my two characters are. Did anyone take this seriously? Because I sure as fuck didn't. I couldn't contain my laughter at this dog shit, as a matter of fact. And trust me, they didn't want me to laugh yet. They wanted me to be like, ooh, wow, look at these two masculine men doing masculine things. Seriously, 5 seconds into this fucking trailer and they've already out-retarded Fate of the Furious. It's like they're trying to surpass Rian Johnson and Dumb and Fucking Dumber as the most retarded movie in history that still turned a profit. Anyway, now we get to the one actual funny part of the trailer where The Rock uses the giant's eyeball to gain access to the security door, but Jason Statham repeatedly smashes one of the henchmen's face against the console and he keeps getting access denied. Anyway, it cuts to Idris Elba, who has shamed himself for taking this really, really shitty role in this really shitty Abominable movie. I much would have preferred him as the Terminator in Dark Fate as opposed to Tijuana 1000, but I guess now we know why he wasn't chosen. But instead, he's talking a bunch of bullshit about Shaw's sister, who we've never met, taking something from him that I'm sure is another world-ending device, because why the fuck not at this point? Okay, I understand Shaw having investment in this, but why the hell does Hobbs want anything to do with it? Gonna love to see the mental gymnastics of the writers to try and justify this. Oh, wait, who the fuck am I kidding? They aren't gonna try to justify shit. They think their audience is stupid as fuck and they are just laughing their asses off and counting up their cash. Fuck the writers. Prowling for another franchise to ruin, most likely. Anyway, yeah, Shaw's sister stole a virus from Idris Elba and now he wants it back. Sorry to burst your bubble, but the worst Mission Impossible movie already did this, and that movie was infinitely fucking better than this shit. Anyway, for some reason, Idris Elba wants the virus back, but is he also fucking the person who stole it, like in Mission Impossible 2? Oh, who cares? Fuck this movie. Oh yeah, by the way, Idris Elba is able to punch through steel walls. More on that soon. Then it insultingly cuts to Fast and Furious Presents. Yeah, fuck you too, Universal. Then Hobbs asks Shaw, what's going on? And Shaw talks to him like a friend he's had years of chemistry with, despite Hobbs putting him in prison, let's not forget. He's like, she's my sister, family business. To that I say fair enough. Bye-bye, Rock. Why are you still here? Then Shaw and his sister kung fu more brain-dead minions in a display of horrible choreography. Oh yeah, then The Rock says, if it's the fate of the world, it's my business.
When it's the fate of the world, it becomes my business.
No, it fucking isn't. You're a government agent with the United States. You don't give a fuck about the state of the world. You're Uncle Sam's little bitch boy.
You didn't kill those feds. Those Reyes.
I don't give a shit. Just here to bring in 2 assholes whose names hit my desk.
That sounds like a real hero.
Why are you now all of a sudden playing Superman? This movie isn't Hobbs and Shaw. It's just the 15th fucking sequel to Rock Saves the World. Why would anyone spend money on this again? Then it cuts to Shaw's mum, who's in prison for some reason, which is why she made a cameo in Fast 8. No one gives a shit. And she's all like, look after your sister, sonny boy. And then Shaw is like, I'll handle it, mummy. And then Shaw's sister says, we need to be a team. For fuck's sake, I told you The Rock was taking over. Now he's got his own team dynamic in the same franchise as Vin Diesel and Paul Walker. Seriously, does anyone still doubt me at this point? Then Rock and Shaw fly in a jet together, and the trailer spoils another joke for the audience, because why the fuck not? The Rock pulls eject on Shaw's seat, and the blank stare Shaw's sister gives The Rock mirrors the audience, because nobody laughed at that. Then it cuts to Statham and his sister in some kind of jeep jumping out of a building, barrel rolling to block bullets from a fucking helicopter. This is done so casually and so retardedly, I'm just going to pause it here. Look at this. Look closely. Okay, 1. This looks awful, like god-awful disgusting. 2. Statham doesn't have a lick of fear or distress on his face, and his sister, like fucking hell, his sister looks like she's on a roller coaster for fuck's sake. You know this series used to be thrilling, it used to make you care, it actually had heart at one point. I remember and I miss dearly when the Supra versus the Ferrari drag race was the moment everyone criticized this franchise for pushing the boundaries of believability for fuck's sake. If those same people saw this trailer, they'd bash their skulls against a brick wall in disbelief. Then some bimbo who's likely The Rock's next love interest says, you guys are being hunted by an army of mercenaries. Yeah, an army of mercenaries who apparently never use their guns, as several action scenes play out while the voice continues. And then she says, they are led by a genetically enhanced super soldier. And then Idris Elba says the unbearably cringy line, look, I'm Black Superman.
I'm Black Superman.
From street racing, to heisting cash, to saving world-ending surveillance software, to now having genetically enhanced super soldiers. Fast and Furious isn't a fucking sci-fi, for fuck's sake. And then Hobbs says, we need to get off the grid. And then Shaw's sister says, where? And then Hobbs is like,
Home.
I wasn't kidding about them ripping off Home Alone, but to be more specific, they're ripping off Furious 7. Furious 7 ripped off Skyfall, and Skyfall ripped off Home Alone. Just fuck Hollywood, honestly. And then, dear God, this just keeps getting worse. Rock goes home to Mummy and is like, sorry Mummy, but I need my brothers. So wait, is Rock trying to give his Samoan family a piece of the pie now? Are we going to have a Fast and Samoan spin-off now as well? And what the fuck are these guys going to do? Are all Samoans just trained killers or something? This movie is so fucking stupid. Also, Roman Reigns is in this. Great. Look, I got nothing against Roman Reigns personally, but I remember the awful ending to the 2015 Royal Rumble. And for those of you who don't know, it went something like this. That's what this trailer feels like in all honesty, but in reverse, meaning Roman is returning the favor to his fake cousin because Rock's gonna sell his movies in every shameless way possible, despite 99% of them being absolute garbage. Anyway, Rock asks his mummy where she keeps all the guns, and the mummy says she gave them away. And then Statham jests that it was so very noble before turning to his sister to say, we're in serious trouble. This is not funny, Universal. Then The Rock throws Statham a torch and says, let's get old school, before it cuts to a native Samoan war dance of some kind. Okay, I'm going to draw the line here, because I got nothing against Samoan culture, but come on, is anyone not going to tell me this isn't The Rock's ego rubbing its balls against the camera? So I guess he does apparently want to set up his own Fast and Samoan franchise where he educates us on Samoan culture. Nobody, and I mean absolutely fucking nobody, asked for this. And yes, The Rock somehow makes his own people and his culture look absolutely retarded. Seriously, Samoans should be furious at this. I fucking would be if I was Samoan. The Rock is actually doing his people a disservice. Because now they are dancing and charging at armed mercenaries with guns while holding fucking torches for some reason. The armed mercenaries are not firing their fucking weapons. Remember in Fast 5 when there was actual tension and The Rock actually gave a shit?
You turn around and put your hands behind your back.
I don't think so.
Your mistake is thinking you got a goddamn choice, boy.
Anyway, more retarded action. No one is using their guns. The Rock and Roman Reigns parody a war cry from wrestling that Roman Reigns does almost always. And then Statham drives them all away in a truck while a helicopter chases them. And as if The Rock hadn't ripped off enough good movies in the past year with this abortion, he has the fucking nerve to rip off Captain America Civil War and actually pulls a helicopter down with his own strength. And I officially wish I never left the fucking womb. Because holy fuck, that is the worst trailer for likely the worst movie I'll never see. Fuck this movie, fuck everyone involved with making it, and everyone who funded this future fucking abortion. You know what the sad thing is? If Universal wanted to make a Jason Statham and The Rock buddy cop action comedy dynamic on its own, sign me up. I would have paid to see that with a smile on my face. But not like this. Fast and Furious is meant to be a franchise about criminals on the run from the law, the importance of family, and badass street racing. When it escalated to Mission Impossible style heist movies in Fast 5 and following sequels, I was still on board because I adored the characters and the story still had somewhere left to go, and that is being extremely generous of me to say. Now they are turning the franchise that was never about saving the world from half the population ending, or genetically enhanced super soldiers, into the next cinematic universe because all of Universal's lazy, embarrassing, talentless attempts to make one have failed spectacularly in the past. And I absolutely refuse to support it. I'm done. I'm done with this series. Hell, I was done before Fate of the Furious came out, but I didn't have a channel back then. This video is simply for the record. I'm not going to see this movie, so don't expect a review. Hell, if you've seen the trailer, you've seen the movie anyway. Remember the last time Universal did something so stupid? But yes, I will not, nor will I ever see this movie. I'm against it entirely on principle, but even my principles couldn't have accounted for such an abominable trailer. I don't expect this video to change anything, but for all the Fast fanboys who are surely typing something along the lines of, "Oh my god, fucking cry you bitch boy, it's just a trailer, fuck you." Well, first off, whatever makes you sleep well at night, buddy. And secondly, no, this movie will be god-awful, and you know what? I hope they prove me wrong. I don't like making hate videos. I don't want to make hate videos. I don't want to hate things. I want to enjoy things. I don't want to hate Fast and Furious.
But I do!
And I can't enjoy this. But the reason I'm making a trailer breakdown is because I know it's going to be dog shit. There is not a doubt in my mind, and if I'm wrong, I'll eat my words. But fuck paying to see this movie, and fuck making a review of the movie telling people how bad it is when they've already seen the bad movie. I'd rather outline how fucking stupid the movie is and its trailer before it comes out, so that those with half a brain might still save their money and stop funding Universal's disgraceful and abominable cash cow. That's lower tier in quality than fucking Transformers. Fuck Universal, fuck The Rock, and fuck Hobbs and Shaw.